So what does taking personal responsibility mean to you? Seriously, put it in the chat down below. I would love to know, what does it mean to you to take personal responsibility? So I think, first of all, we can take personal responsibility for our thoughts, for our actions, for what we, maybe not necessarily the thoughts that pop into our head, but the thoughts that we perpetuate, the ones that we develop. A lot of times we get a negative thought and we have an opportunity to do something with that thought, right? We have an opportunity to go, where'd that come from? That's complete nonsense, and kick it out. Or sometimes we get those negative thoughts and we start to believe them and we start to develop them. Oh my gosh, what if this happens? And what if that happens? Always attached to something negative. What if we took responsibility for that thought and we decided, okay, I don't like that thought. What if with a positive result? Oh, now we could change everything. Ask ourselves better questions, get better answers, change our lives, right? So personal responsibility can also be, hey, somebody treated us a certain kind of way, and we take personal responsibility for our response. So if, let's say, something negative is happening in our exact surrounding area, okay, what meaning are you giving to that negative, and how are you going to react to it? The other day, my daughter was in the parking lot at a grocery store, and some jackass had his wife by the neck, shoved her in the car in front of their kids, and drove away. What kind of a dumbass does that, right? What was the meaning that he was giving whatever situation was there, and shoved his wife in the car and drove away? It takes a pretty pathetic individual to do something like that. But again, what was the meaning that he was giving to whatever situation he happened to be in? We have to take personal responsibility for the thoughts we think, because as we think those thoughts, we turn them into what? We get initial emotion, and then as we develop the thought, it turns into feelings which are significantly deeper and stronger, which directly affect our actions, either for the positive or the negative. So we have to take personal responsibility for this right here, because this determines what these actually do, either for the positive or for the negative. Taking personal responsibility. Again, I would love to hear your comments down below. And if you want to take personal responsibility in your relationships, this week I'm going to interview a friend of mine on Friday, and we're going to talk about that very thing. We're going to talk about taking personal responsibility for our relationships, for maybe if you're single, on taking personal responsibility for not being single anymore, and then taking personal responsibility for being in the relationship that you're in and making it the absolute best that you can, intentionally, doing something meaningful and making a very conscious decision to turn it into the most amazing thing ever, right? The most amazing relationship that you could possibly ask for. And how do you do that? Well, we're going to talk about that. It's all a matter of taking personal responsibility. But let's start with right here. Hope this helps.